Hello, my name is Umo. This is University of Pattern Drafting. Welcome to class. This is Module 2, Level 1, Part 3B. And we're continuing with our plunging neckline. So, as I mentioned earlier, the shoulder width is 16 inches. So 16 inches divided by 2, that's 8 inches. And so you're going to see me measuring 8 inches along the shoulder. So this is 8 inches. And then our neckline width that I'm going to be using is 5 inches. So notice that 5 inches is more than a quarter of the shoulder width. So the quarter of the shoulder width would have been 4 inches. So once you are using anything that is more than the quarter of the shoulder width, you have to also deduct from the shoulder tip, the way you can see me deducting from the shoulder tip. So I've deducted half from the shoulder tip. So once the neckline width that you're using is more than a quarter of the shoulder width, you should deduct half an inch from the shoulder tip. Do you understand that? So you can see me redrawing my armhole. So I'm redrawing my armhole. So can you see I'm going to cut that out, and then my neckline depth is 9 inches. What I used for the depth was 9 inches. So this is 9 inches, and then I'm just going to connect the point using my French curve. So can you see that this is what my plunging neckline looks like? So usually a plunging neckline is a neckline that is going to reveal a lot of cleavage. A lot of cleavage. Sometimes it extends even below the under bust. So I'm just going ahead to cut out everything that I drew out. And this is what it actually looks like. So can you see the plunging neckline? So now the next neckline that we're going to be dealing with is the off-shoulder neckline. So this is me measuring 5 inches neckline depth. And then this neckline depth is, the neckline is a straight off-shoulder neckline. It can be sweetheart like the one you're seeing on the screen. It can be U-shaped, it can be V-shaped, it can be sweetheart, it can be straight, that kind of thing. So that's essentially what an off-shoulder neckline would look like. So now let's go ahead and talk about the asymmetric neckline. This is what it looks like. It's also called a monostrap. So this is what an asymmetric neckline looks like. I used a neckline width of about 5 inches, and then you could see me deducting the same half inch from the shoulder tip. Do you understand? So to draw out this neckline, you have to open up your pattern paper and then connect from that 5 inches neck width to your armhole depth. On the other side, can you see that? So you're connecting it back to the armhole. Do you understand? In most cases, that's the way it would go. Or sometimes you might connect it to maybe about halfway through the armhole, just depending on what the design is. But this is like the basic foundation for metrical neckline. So you can now go ahead and just use your hand to redraw a more decent line. So this is what it's going to look like, and I am retracing my armhole. So always remember that once you're using an armhole width that is wider than a quarter of the total shoulder width, then you should deduct half an inch, or in some cases 3/4 of an inch, from the shoulder tip. Now the essence of that is so that your shoulder is not dropping. Do you understand? That shoulder part is not dropping off, so it's firm on the shoulder. So the next one that we're going to be dealing with now is the boat neckline or canoe neckline. So you can see me measuring 3 inches neckline depth, and then the neckline width I'm going to be using is 6 inches. Do you understand? Which is obviously more than a quarter of the total shoulder width. So because of that, you're still going to deduct the same half an inch from the edge of the shoulder. And as I mentioned earlier, the essence of this is to ensure that that shoulder strap sits firmly on the shoulder and it doesn't keep dropping off. So that's the essence of deducting that extra half an inch to 3/4 of an inch. So you can see me deducting the half an inch, and I'm going to reconnect that back to my original armhole. So this is me reconnecting it back, and then so the next neckline that we're going to be dealing with is the crew neckline, and I would be illustrating that in the next video. I've cropped up these videos into really small parts because it's always an issue to send large files. I'm trying to avoid the stress of having to send large files because it's really difficult to send large files. So that's why they're in bits. So please pay attention to the numberings and the taggings and the letterings of each of the videos so that you don't miss out. So I would see you in the next video, guys. Ciao.